Yesterday we learned about the positive commandment of resting on Shabbos. Today's mitzvah is the negative prohibition of not doing any work on Shabbos. As it says in the Aseret HaDibrot, in the Ten Commandments, Lo ta'aseh kol malacha, that no work should be done on the day of Shabbos. But how is it that we define what work is, malacha, labor? The Torah doesn't tell us. For this we have the oral part of Torah, the Torah Shabbat, where we are told exactly how we define work. Now just to clarify, the oral Torah isn't something which was invented later by the rabbis. This is actually a part of Torah which we received directly from Hashem. When God gave the Torah at Mount Sinai, there were two parts to the Torah that He gave us. There was the written Torah, the Torah Shepichtav, what's also known as the 5 books of Moses, the Bible. But then, for whatever reason, God decided to give us part of the Torah orally. This was transmitted, this was told to Moses, and he actually shared it with the rest of the Jewish people, and it was passed on from generation to generation, and later it was also written down. So it has the same importance to it, the same severity to it, just like the Torah Shebichtav, just like the written Torah. And in the oral Torah, we are told that what is it that's considered work, melacha? We are given 39 principles, 39 categories of work. And each one of these principles also have derivatives which are similar to it. One of them, for example, is not to plant or sow. The idea of planting is that anything which promotes, which helps growth. So like a derivative of that would be to spill some water on the grass in order to help it grow. One would be, if one does that, one would be transgressing the prohibition of planting on Shabbos. The list of 39 will be posted in the comments. And so the idea of resting from this prohibitive work actually makes a lot of sense when we think of the reason about why we have to rest on Shabbos. Is because God rested. What did God rest from? God, it didn't take Him a lot of hard work, strenuous work to create the world. God created the world through speech. So it wasn't, for Him, it wasn't such a big deal. So when we say that we rested because God rested, so what's the idea of rest? So it's not, it could be that one would do something on Shabbos and sweat a lot and schlep, I don't know, furniture or chairs, and he won't be transgressing any prohibitions of Shabbos. But on the other hand, it could be that if he just pulls out a cell phone, flicks a switch, with that he transgresses a prohibition from Shabbos. The theme of all of the Lametet Melachot, 39 prohibitive actions, is that it's anything that's creative. Anything that when one's actually doing something new and using his creativity. So just as God, what is it that He rested from? From being creative, so too we are also resting from anything that is being creative and using our creativity to go and do something. That's something which we are resting from. So it's also because of this that's why there's so much preparation put in before Shabbos to make sure that everything's in place, especially with the food, to make sure that everything's ready, that we shouldn't have to go and do anything on Shabbos which will be transgressing any of these prohibitions.